Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here, and before we get started, let's get the shout-outs out of the way. Today's shout-out goes to Citroen Boy and George Patterson. Both were first to say first in one of my recent videos, and this one's this shout-out. So what do I got for you today? This is the B1100. You're looking at this, you'll say, well, that looks like a toy. And yes, it is. It's a beginner's learn to fly drone. Keep in mind that the Quadcopter 101 channel was founded, and it still is sort of focused on helping people enter the hobby, of RC drones. And I have to, give credit to these little drones. These little toy drones can actually fly very well. Most of them actually can fly very well, and they do serve a purpose for beginners learning to fly. They're very inexpensive, so if you lose it, you don't really care. I think this one's under $15 actually. And on top of that, they do provide good training, learning to fly that drone. With this one is a little 3.7 volt, 250 milliampere hour. Its battery is encased inside, so you really can't change the battery. You have to charge it in the field using, if you want to keep on flying in the field, you need to use a power bank to recharge the drone. But, it's a tiny little micro drone. It has a nice little controller for it. Let's go over the buttons of the controller. This is for rates, how fast it's going to go. This is for flips, telling it to flip. This comes available both in altitude hold mode or without altitude hold mode. For the altitude hold mode, these two buttons are takeoff and landing, and it also has headless mode and one key return by pressing this button here. Now, if you're planning on this as a learn to fly drone, I urge you to skip the altitude hold mode and go for the cheaper basic version without altitude hold. This one is such a version. You can tell as its throttle is not centered. Okay, it can come all the way down, stays all the way down. This is a basic drone without altitude hold. Why would I recommend doing such? Well, you learn proper throttle management with such a drone. You don't do that with an altitude hold drone. That's being done for you, but without altitude hold, you learn proper throttle management. Why is that important? Well, if you want to go into sport drones or racers, you're going to need to know how to fly using the throttle, maintaining the throttle to maintain altitude, and this is perfect for learning that. So let's go for a flight of this thing and see how it performs. So turn it on. It has an on-off switch right there, and we hold it down and put the drone on the ground, turn on the transmitter, and bind it by going up and then down on the throttle. And we have throttle. I am going to set it up. Let's see how it flies. It's actually hovering very nicely. Doing my throttle management. I guess it's the front of it. I was pointed the wrong way. And it's very, very docile, okay? And let me just put my thumbs around it like that so you show you. Let's go to higher rate now. And it's less docile now. Okay, let's go to highest rate. It's actually very nice. Okay, let's bring that over and show you that. That one, it fell to the ground. Let's try something. Toss it. You didn't know you could do that, folks. A lot of you didn't know that. I know, pretty sure. Let me show you that. Let's do it again. I'm going to do it the hand toss. Then give it throttle, and there you go. Almost took my head off there with that. Okay, so all in all, it actually is a nice little flyer. Under $15. Actually, a very nice little flyer. And a little sports drone. Yeah, you really don't need a lot of money to learn to get into this hobby, folks. $15 and you're flying. I always like these little toy micros. They're fun. And again, these are great intros to bring you into racers. I'd say micro FPV racers, not, I wouldn't go full size brushless racers after flying this, but I would start off, any of the micros would be suitable. And really, when you're flying a micro FPV racer, you really can't tell the difference between that and a full size one through the goggles, in most cases. Now, this also comes available in 2 styles. This is the blue style, but they also got a ladybird style. It looks like a little ladybird. Now let's try the headless mode on this. Okay, that was the headless mode direction back. What is headless mode? Well, I consider headless mode like altitude hold. You can build up a crutch on this. But notice, it doesn't care which direction the nose of the drone is pointed. That's always forward. This is always back. And that's always left. And that's always right. See, I'm rotating it while doing that. Okay, coming out of headless mode. Now the next thing is 1 key return. Let's go over here. And that's the headless mode direction to hit 1 key return. Oh, okay, I guess that's the headless mode direction now. And hit 1 key return. Now 1 key return is not really a return to home, folks. It just flies the opposite direction the drone was pointed when it took off. But, boy, a little 250 is giving us a lot of flight time, isn't it? Let me get a thumbnail. Okay, and then going out again. Let's go to high rate. Let's see how fast it'll go. Uh-oh, it's losing power, so I'm going back to intermediate. And we're getting close to its power. I'm going to beginner. The rest of this will hover it so you can see it. Nice little beginner's drone. Learn to fly drone. Yeah, my first drone when I got into this hobby, actually it wasn't one of these. I got a, what was it? It was a WL Toys V949 was my first drone. And I learned a lot from that toy drone. But it wasn't cheap at the time. That thing was over 80 bucks or something like that when they first came out. They were quite expensive. But now you can get toy drones for $15 and get right into this hobby. Okay, we're almost out of power because it's starting to feel sluggish, so I'm going to call it quits there. I don't want to kill that battery all the way down there because you can damage the batteries. But when you notice it start to feel sluggish, that's when you should quit. I'm not noticing any blinking lights to warn me that LVC, but I'm going to just be cautious here because it is a $15 drone. So, okay, hope you enjoyed this flight of the B1100. It's actually a nice little flyer. It's Quadcopter 101, signing out.